mean?
Because it was all about the body, and she was completely unapologetic about it. She used her sexuality unabashedly, which is great, but, you know, for someone like me, I would always say no, but there would be more to it. There would be another layer to this person.
Sure.
And of course there is, but what she let the world see is just her body and what she could do with it. So that was something that I had to reconcile in my head.
Which still happens to some extent, doesn't it?
Yes, I think it does. A lot of times, and which is why, you know, when the promos came out, and they said, oh, are you really using sex to sell this film? And I said, whatever it is that we're using to sell this film, when you reach the theatres, you'll realize that here's a person who's far beyond the body. We are going beyond the body. So I think
it's not stretching the parallel, but it's a little like Marilyn Monroe, who was perceived as being a sex symbol, but was a person with a lot of depth.
Yes. I think it's not just about depth, just to see that there is a person beyond that. You know, I think most often, forget depth or no depth, we are not even willing to see that there is a person in there.
Have you found that people often react to you as just a star rather than the person?
I think so.
Yeah?
Most
Give me an
of the
example.
time.
What kind of thing?
I think people have a certain expectation of how you are, how you're supposed to be in your interactions with them all the time. It's almost like you have no business to be having a bad hair day or, you know,
you're on show
all the time, on display all the time. So, and then, you know, sometimes you're in a big rush, for example, during promotion, since I'm just out of that. You're rushing from one place to the other. People actually take offense and say, you know, we've been waiting for so many hours, and there are thousands of people standing there. It's impossible to stand and pose with each of them, but they actually get so upset. But I've begun to take that in my stride. Previously, I would feel helpless and say, oh my God, you know, I would feel guilty about the fact that I'm not able to do that, but now...
But the image you have, and people in the audience can correct me, at least until you've done these last few films, has been this very beautiful girl next door who's somewhat cerebral and has got a little depth to her, more than, say, the average person in the film industry would. Is that accurate, or is there like a secret bad side to you that you've hidden all along?
I think there is definitely a bad side.
Like what?
And which you'll see, I guess, only on screen. I choose not to show it otherwise.
You're not like Silk really, are you?
There is a part of me that's like Silk.
Pin drop silence, they're waiting for you to say more.
There is, of course, I don't know which part I should really be talking about here, but...
Choose the least offensive, because you'll get away with it.
The fact that I too enjoy and celebrate my body like she does.
That's a wonderful quote. Say that again. I'm not sure that got the right. You enjoy and celebrate your body.
Yes, and I think that's wonderful.
Yes, I'm sure all of us agree. So, Farhan Lastar, do you celebrate your body and enjoy it as well?
I'll enjoy and celebrate anybody. I have no problem.
And you're blushing, which is not a usual situation for you to be in. Okay, moving away from people's bodies, as exciting as that is, you joined the industry, you were in a sense an insider. Your father was like the man who invented 1970s cinema. Your mother's very, very famous and talented scriptwriter, had been a child star herself. When you were growing up, you grew up with Salman Khan as one of your friends, the people you hung out with. What was it like joining the industry? Do you always know you were going to join the industry?
Like I said earlier, I think I was always attracted to film. But I mean, Salman is someone that both Zoya and me looked up to. He was
apparently this really cool dude when you guys were
I mean, he was a very, very cool guy for us, and he taught me how to skateboard and he taught me how to cycle.
Really?
Yeah. And he was always looking out for Zoya and me, like he did for his younger brothers and sisters. But for a long period of time, when I got into my teens and early 20s, I completely had cut away from most relationships in the film world. The only friend that I really had at that time was Uday Chopra, who's Aditya's younger brother. And apart from him, most of the friends that I hung out with were non-film folks.
Why was that?
I don't know. I mean, it was just the way it was, you know, and the college that I went to, the friends that I made there. and then eventually through them the people that I met were people who were not in the film world. So a lot of my closest friends, even now, are not people really from the film industry. You know,
Your father, I once interviewed and told me the story of how you went to see him before you were making Dil Chahta Hai. You told him what the film was about, and he said, "Wonderful, can I help? Can I?" He said, "No, everything's done. The finance is in place. We're just going ahead and making it." He says, "That's the first I heard of it." Is that accurate?
More or less.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give him a draft to read, and at that point, while still writing it, and before I was completely sure about what I want the story to be like, for him to, at that point, give me some feedback as to what he thinks it could be. I wanted to finish writing it the way I felt it should be written, to start with. And after that, before I could meet him and give him the script, it just so happened by chance that I met Ritesh, who said, "I'm interested in producing the film." So we had this discussion, and he said, "I'll make the film." So I said, "Okay, now since it's all happening, I might as well go meet my dad and quickly tell him what's going on." So I gave him the script to read, and yeah, I mean, it was nice that he pretty much liked it the way it was.
The point your father was making, which I suppose is the same as yours, is that yes, you grew up with films, but nobody launched you or did anything. You did it all yourself.
It is crucial, you know, and I genuinely have Amir to thank for that.
Yeah.
You know, I think he was very helpful to me, because the reason he met me and the reason he told me that he met me was that he told me that you didn't ask your mother or your father to call me. You know, so which is why I think let's have a meeting and let's talk about your film. So which I thought was very